Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded, many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link. 5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide a platform for kids from all sectors where they could have a safe and comfortable environment in which to share both their joys and concerns. The Power of We Symposium is proud to have served over 250 kids throughout Romania when we took our mission global back in May of 2023. Now, 2 teams of amazing volunteers from both the U.S. and Romania embarked on an 8-day Legacy of Hope tour, bringing encouragement and hope to not only the kids of Romania, but also the adults who support them, and also to over 100 kids here in the U.S. who contributed handwritten letters of hope to our Romania mission of 2023. Now, this year, we are proud to provide this opportunity yet again in October, and we are super excited to up our game. New venue, 750 kids this time, and we want to see you there. We're looking forward to meeting you in person at this year's event, which promises, as always, incredible speakers, amazing content, and of course, some of the greatest kids on the planet. So, mark your calendars for October 24th, and we'll see you here in Chicagoland for the Power of We Symposium 2024. This year's theme is Always Together, Never Alone. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Shamelessly displaying my state of mind, but you walk right past me.
Okay. Sabrina, you're backstage. Can you see me or are you seeing the you see me? You see me. It's up. Look on the TV behind me. That is my show opener. Okay, wave. You need to get it together. I'm just saying. No, she was waving. That's the name of the platform. And look at that. So the people at home, I don't know what you're seeing. Are you that's okay, you know what? They're gonna quit playing with me. I'm gonna just say it. I'm 61. I'm fighting senior moments at least 5 or 6 times a day, and they're not backing down. So now there I am. Okay. All right. Okay. Breathe. Y'all know I went all the way to Boston and hung out with Sanjeev Chopra, Deepak's brother, about a month ago to learn transcendental meditation. Well, I better get a session in like right after this show. I'm not playing with it. Anyway, welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments, wherever you're at and however it's showing up. I'm your host, Dr. Lauren, and I just want to give you guys a little. There it is. The Bell of Purpose is here. It's a real thing. Look how big that is. That is not a gimmick. It's not some prop or something. It's an opportunity. It's a reminder. Because when there is truth out on the table where everybody's doing all kinds of things, flat ironing hair, feeding the baby oatmeal, stuck in traffic, whatever it could be, I don't want you to miss anything. There are going to be so many golden nuggets on the table today. You better go get something, a suitcase and a bodyguard to carry all this value out of here. Can I get an amen? Now, how do I know it's true? Well, because Sabrina Victory. I did that on purpose. Or was that a senior moment? Well, no, because my coach, I had a coach named Sarah Victory. So I kept telling my husband, oh, you guys pray for my husband, Dr. Brian. Woke up with the big COVID yesterday. So he is in a room. I slide notes under the door. And I promise I'm going to unnail it and take that wood off soon as he tests negative. But until then, I'll wave it from the driveway up to the window. Hi, honey. But anyway, Sabrina's here today. Not the teenage witch, the badass bitch. That's who. And I know I can call her that because she is comfortable in her skin. I looked all over the place. This girl, let me tell you, don't play with her. My first question to her, don't worry, it's on the way. Can my countdown clock work? Let me see. Oh. Girl, I'm like, I can't stand it. Did you see that? My show opener was playing to them. I'm just wait till Wave works out their kinks.
That was the best intro ever. I was dying.
Well, I have ADHD, and it's like the little kid in me. I mean, there are toys everywhere in here because I like to play, right? Mm-hmm. But I also have fits when things don't go my way. I got to work on that. So how are you? I'm so happy you're here.
I'm doing so good, always, forever.
Were you mad when I said she's that bitch?
Hell no.
I knew you wouldn't be.
I laughed. I almost had to get up to go to the bathroom to pee. It was so funny.
Where are you in the world?
I am in Boca Raton, Florida. Hey, listen, are you in Chicago? I saw the commercial. I was born and raised Schaumburg, Illinois.
Schaumburg, I live in Naperville.
I love Naperville.
In Schaumburg. Huh?
I love Naperville.
Oh, do you still have family here?
Great area. No, we all moved to warmer
Not even
places.
A friend or an acquaintance that you could come back and visit?
Oh, yeah, we go back and visit every once in a while.
We got to hang when you come.
Yeah.
A lot of great restaurants in Schaumburg.
I know.
A lot of them here in Naperville.
The one thing that I miss is the food.
So you're in warm weather.
Yeah. It's like yesterday I was wearing
can you hear me?
I was wearing a tank top yesterday.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm turning it up. Okay. Well, because it's like 19 yesterday, it was 19 degrees. I had to go out. It was 6 below when I got up yesterday. And then I was speaking in I want to say Steamboat Springs. It wasn't. It was in Denver, something Springs. Anyway, I was there over the weekend. It was 19 below zero. That's not wind chill. That was real.
Wow. I don't miss that.
What was the high in Boca Raton yesterday?
78.
You see, she said it with a straight face, y'all. Well, I guess you're like, nobody told y'all to keep your asses in that cold. So I moved, you can too. We got to get started. So what I want to do is, I have your bio, but look at you, that bio. I'm gonna just back out, go over here in the corner, and give you a minute or so. Just start your own vibe with the audience, and then I'll come back. Tell them what you want them to know from your bio. Then I'll come back and we'll get started because I got some humdinger of some questions for you. I do.
Love it.
Okay. Here we go. All you, take it over.
All right, so Sabrina Victoria here. I own a community called Her Nation. All female entrepreneurs is who I help. A little bit about me. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. I got pregnant at the age of 20 with no husband. Emphasis on the no husband part. And because of that sin, I was cast out into the world. I got dropped or disfellowshipped from everyone that I had ever known. And I led a stereotypical single mom, broke ass life of literally no money, like the kind where you're digging in your couch cushions for 25 cents to put gas in your car because you're negative $137 and your bank account kind of broke. I ended up in an extremely abusive relationship soon after that because I had no self-worth. I was just in such a dark, sinful state. And I endured that for just over a decade until I saw the light. I always say Google saved my life. The mental, emotional, sexual, and financial abuse was so bad. I Googled one day on the bathroom, on the floor, having a total mental breakdown. I Googled, why is my boyfriend bullying me? Because I didn't know any other vernacular other than the word bully. I was just like, he's so mean to me. And Google is the one that let me know that I was in an abusive relationship. And literally that day changed my entire life. I pivoted and I opened up 3 secret businesses. I opened up a secret bank account. I collected $50,000 and I literally just ran away one day, got my power back. And that is what I teach now. I teach women how to get their power back, their voice back, and how to use their story to inspire others.
Wow. Dang, girl. Okay. Wait, ring the bell.
You told me to bring the introduction.
Yes, and you did. See, that's so much better than that dry ass bio. You know what I'm saying, though? But I mean, because the emotion. See what I'm saying? Story. That was a story. Oh, thank you for sharing that. So much. Listen, first question is Her Nation, her this, her that. Okay, so is it true? I heard a rumor you hate men. I'm kidding. Well, the reason I started there is because when people see that kind of branding, especially men, with the broke culture and all that shit going on, they see that kind of a stuff on a brand like yours, and they go, oh, I'm one of those Me Too bitches. No, for real. I'm saying they think it. I'm just keeping it real. And that's not the case at all.
No.
Because you don't just serve women.
No.
You see what I'm saying? You serve men. And what about us men who have sisters and daughters and nieces and cousins and mamas that are in those same situations that you describe? You men need to lean in and learn what to do too, to pull the woman or the women in your life that you love out of these potentially dangerous narcissistic relationships.
Yes.
So let's go back to Jehovah's Witness, because I was raised Seventh-day Adventist. So we're the Jehovah's Witness, Scientology. What's the other one? Seventh-day Adventists and Mormons. They think that we're cults, and they kind of are. I'm just saying, in a way. I mean, I have little pieces from my religious upbringing that I wouldn't let go of for anything. But a lot of it, that shaming, that get out of here, you backslider, burn in hell, that kind of thing. Let's talk about what you loved most, because here's the piece a lot of people don't realize. When we come from those strong, domineering relationships with our back religion, people are oftentimes surprised that we will still defend that it was a good thing in many ways for us. Talk about how that sits in your life today.
I love this question, because there are so many groups of like ex-Jehovah's Witnesses
Yeah.
that just talk about the whole woe is me. We didn't get to do this. We didn't get to do that. And quite honestly, I loved the fact that I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. I am no longer. I left when I was probably like 26, 27. I'm now 40.
You look
But
good.
like, yeah, a lot of good things. It set me on a good path. It kept me focused. It helped with my studying, right? You have to read a lot. You have to study a lot. Helped me with being comfortable in my own skin. Help because you're so different, right? We didn't celebrate holidays. We don't celebrate birthdays. We don't salute the flag. So there's so many differences between me and everybody else from day one, since like 5 years old in kindergarten,
Yeah.
where I was totally different than everybody else. And I think that's really helped me in my adulthood stand in my authenticity.
Yes, yes. Gave you some soles on your shoes that don't wear out so quickly.
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciate about mine as well. I really do. And it was like, it was a starting point that led me to the spirituality that I possess today. And I tell people this, I am grateful for every slab of the sidewalk that I've walked all the way around the block so far, because how bad could any have truly been when it got me? It led me to this moment right here with you. So how bad could it have really been, So let's go into this scandal that rocked the Jehovah's Witness world back in whatever year it was when the rabbit died.
Yeah.
Okay. So talk about that, because you said it and you threw it out there, but when you were living it, that had to feel like, Lord Jesus, what am I going to do?
I love that you called it a scandal. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah.
That just sounds awesome.
Scandal.
I'm writing that shit down. Scandal.
Right. Because they're like, what's your mom's name?
Belinda.
Did you hear what happened to Belinda's girl? What? Right. So go back to the day you found out you were pregnant. What was the first thing? I mean, were you like Cindy Brady when the red light came on, when she was like, I'm going to be a star? And then the TV light came on and she was. What was it like the moment you knew
that I was pregnant?
Yes.
My story's insane. I was at work. I had been falling asleep for like 5 days in a row at my job. And so it was either that I was working out too much, which I was working out a lot back then, or I was pregnant. So the 5th day, I'm just like, I have to go find out if I'm pregnant. I went to Walmart and I stole the pregnancy test.
Scandal number 2.
I stole the pregnancy test. It was a 3-pack. I put it in my purse and I go into the bathroom at Walmart and I pee on 3 sticks. Ooh. I read the directions and it says, could take up to 3 minutes to find out. Mine turned within like a half a second. So I'm like, these sticks are broken. These sticks do not work.
I can't be that pregnant. Right.
So I'm shaking. I'm freaking out. Eventually, after a few minutes of the walls closing in on me, I call the daddy and we meet up. I show him the sticks. And what's crazy is my parents, all of us, were set to leave to move out of Chicago and move out of state in 3 days.
But not the daddy.
Not the daddy, no. No, not the daddy.
So what, were y'all going to break up or do a long distance thing?
We did long distance. So the very next day, I set an appointment at one of those like paternity places to make sure I was pregnant. We watched all the videos on abortion, adoption, childbirth. And like, I made my decision. I'm going to keep the baby. I believe in freedom of choice.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody else, but I made a choice. And my choice was to keep my baby. That was a choice I made. And so I moved with my parents. I go through the whole like morning sickness. I'm tossing in the bathroom. I'm gaining weight. I was like a size 2 back then. So it was really obvious. 4 months go by. And finally, my parents one day, they're not dumb. Like.
Wait, you hadn't told them? You hadn't told them?
No.
Girl.
I had not told them. So my dad pulls me outside after dinner one day with my mom, and my dad literally just goes, "What's going on?" My dad's like Mexican. He's very like abrasive and
He is. He's Mexican. Oh,
patriarchal. So I didn't even stutter because I'm like, listen, I'm literally like more than halfway here. I was already probably a month pregnant when I left, and then 4 months go by. I'm like pretty pregnant at this point.
yeah.
I'm about to like blow up basically.
It's time for your shower.
Yeah. So I didn't even hesitate. I'm like, I'm pregnant. He freaks the out, like literally freaks out. I don't even want to go into it. My mom, of course, was like, "Oh, what's the plan? What are you going to do?" Long story short, they kicked me out of the house that night. I stayed there, but they're like, "You got to leave." Yeah. So I called baby daddy and he drove
in another state.
Yeah. He drove overnight. He left that day. He drove overnight in a little Kia. And the next day I shoved as much as I could into a Kia into the car and we left. Now, the caveat, my parents did sleep on it. The next day they were like, "Are you sure you want to leave?"
You put me out. What do you mean?
But
Am I sure I
it's
want to
like,
leave?
dude, I know you're really upset. And the other thing is to explain is I had already shamed my parents' name in Chicago because I had already gotten in trouble. I was already what's called disfellowshipped in Chicago, and I had gotten back.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you're no stranger to scandal.
Yeah.
At this point.
So I felt bad. I was like, I already shamed their name in Chicago. They moved. There's a fresh start. We're literally not even there 6 months. And now I'm going to I felt horrible. So, my dad's reaction combined with just like the guilt of just being a sinner, I just left and we drove back to Chicago. Scandal.
Look, wait a minute. Oh, wait. How does this work? I'm so over it. Okay, never mind. I was going to do some sound effect. It's not working. Wow. We got to get you back on the show after people have settled back down from this one. This show, to get back to that first shaming in Chicago. Some tells me don't even ask. Okay. So, and you're how old now?
I'm
ready
40.
to have a baby?
Oh, back then I was 20.
So you're in the car, you go back with baby daddy,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the baby.
Yeah.
Yes. And that baby today.
He's 19, gorgeous. We have a great relationship.
See?
Yeah.
And your parents, once the baby got here, what was their mindset then like? Okay. See what I told you all about senior moments? Don't laugh, you young people. Have you
I'm laughing.
I know that. Yeah, you're one of the young people I'm talking to. You all, look at those senior moments. Trust me, you're having them. You walked in the room probably yesterday and went, "What I come in here for?"
Yeah.
That's a junior moment. Don't worry, they're gonna grow. So anyway, so you have so you moved in with baby daddy. So he's a good guy, or he was a good guy. I mean, he picked you up.
Yeah.
A lot of girls don't have that.
Yeah.
And you have the baby, and then what did you say? Okay, now what do I do with my life? And you decided I am going to do what?
I mean, it went in a lot of different directions. I started selling newspapers, peddling newspapers for straight commission to make money. I was up at 5 a.m. and went to bed at 10 at night. I was holding down 2 jobs to pay the bills.
Now, did you know, Sabrina, did you know you were that strong at the time?
No.
Talk about that. Because sometimes that's the reason why I'm pulling the crossing guard of purpose out to stop the traffic, you guys, right here. Because it's these little moments in these interviews that sometimes we sprint past, which are the most life-changing. Yeah. So because here's the why. Adversity, scandal, whatever you're going through, it's never a mistake, and it's never about just one thing. It's not a mistake. It's what's greater than us keeping our shit interesting. Yeah. So it pulled things out of you, I'm sure, that you didn't even know you had.
Yeah.
So talk about that. When did you start realizing, wait a minute, look at me, we're doing this, we're making it? What did it feel like when you started?
It wasn't any time then. It wasn't
It what?
any time then. It wasn't any. I was sad. I was depressed.
Ooh.
It was in such a dark spot. My parents still were not talking to me, even after I had my baby. So my
Oh.
parents didn't start speaking to me again until my son was probably about a year and a half. I had to get back with the Jehovah's Witnesses for them to rekindle with me. So I
What do
went
you
my
mean get
whole rest.
re-accepted in the church?
Yeah,
So what did you? Did you go back
yeah,
and
I
say,
did.
"Forgive me, please, the prodigal daughter's
I
home.
did.
Let
Yeah,
me in. Let me in." And they
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Under what conditions?
I mean, I was disfellowshipped twice and what's called reinstated twice. So you have to like go, you have to study, you have to show that you're being a good person. You have to like
In other words, repent.
repent. Yeah. Like you have to go and no one talks to you. It's very awkward.
Did you miss the church, or did you miss your parents and knew I need to get to them, I need to go through this?
Yeah, that's how they do it.
So you
It's your parents.
sacrificed.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're
Yeah.
back in the church, everything's cool. Mom and dad say, "Come on down, look at all this shit we got for the baby."
No.
Oh. See? See, you guys, we can't predict the ending to this. Go on.
None of that. But yeah, the relationship was rekindled. You know, we now have a relationship.
Awesome.
We don't live in the same state, so it's, you know, cross state, whatever.
Sure.
But anyways, yeah, the journey was interesting. I slept on a 9-inch air mattress until my 8th month of pregnancy. We were living with 12 people in a 2-bedroom apartment, and
Wait, how many?
12 people.
Oh, now some people might call that a commune or a cult,
It was
or just
very
a bunch of
cultish.
swingers. Which one
It
was
was
it?
very cultish. So the baby daddy was in a MLM, a multi-level marketing company. And the guy who owned it had what was called warrior dens, where the people that worked for him, because you don't make any money in multi-level. So he had this whole scheme set up where he was like, live together in small spaces, where the rent is hundreds of dollars versus thousands of dollars. Split the rent between as many people as possible so that you can live while building his business, right? Or your business.
Warrior dens.
Warrior Den. Yeah, it was actually genius. Like I look back at it now. At the time, it was crazy. We're all sleeping on mattresses. It's like walking into
Shelter.
a drug house. Like we were all on mattresses. We all just had like little sets of clothes on the side. You couldn't be home all day. So you could not be home from 9 to 9. You had to be out. He didn't care what you were doing, but you had to be out. He wanted you selling. He wanted you out on the streets. He wanted you talking about the product.
What's his name? Reverend Moon?
No.
Did you guys wear orange little loosely fitted outfits? Did you play the tambourine?
No
Okay, it wasn't
tambourines.
okay. So you weren't a Hare Krishna.
No.
Okay, just checking. Okay.
So I was not in the cult. It wasn't a cult. It was a multi-level. It was called Symmetry, just like Herbalife or Mary Kay.
Hey, careful. I do Herbalife.
Yeah, just like one of those. But he did it next level though. It wasn't just like join our group. It was like join our group. It was intense. He had seminars. He was like a god. It was crazy. People worshipped this guy.
Ooh.
But he did good. He had thousands of like 20-year-olds.
Now you're there with the baby.
Yeah, and I was pregnant with the baby. I was like the mascot, to be honest with you.
Everybody took care of you, and yeah. Okay.
It was cute. So when my son was born, he was the only baby because
I bet.
Was so young. Yeah.
So take us on down the road. So you go on. When did the Sabrina of today doing all this work? And I mean, when I say you guys, all this work, the owner of Human Better 365. I love that. That's why, even though it's followed by creator of Her Nation, Sober Society, and her talk show, her, but you speak to all humans. So that's how I knew it wasn't just about women. And you are a movement. I love that. So talk about when you feel the transition into the work you do today began, and what was that conveyor belt like? What did it look like?
Yeah. The reason I really concentrate on women is because I joke that I was saved by white old men.
Ooh. White
Because
old
back in the
men.
day when I was in this dark spot, I was with my abusive partner. I would Google motivational speakers or inspirational stories.
So
And
smart.
Google is the one that would give me the stories. And they were always told by white old men. Tony Robbins, Joel Osteen, Jim Rohn,
Jim
Wayne
Rohn.
Dyer. Les Brown was always in there. He's
Les, I
right.
love Les. Les is one of my friends. Yes.
But he be old.
Yeah,
Um,
well, I'm old.
But these men told me that anything was possible. They told me that I could be anyone that I wanted to be. They told me that I could step up and I could find my power. And I believed them. I believed them. Even though
See?
I was this lonely, single mom, worthless sinner, Mexican, no education, no money in my bank account. And they were like up here somewhere. I believed them. And because I believed the words and because I trusted in the process,
Yes.
I am where I am now. And
See?
so because I am where I am now, I'm also very aware of the disconnect that I had and that every woman probably has between poor, broke Mexican, no safety net, nobody handing me anything, and then these rich billionaires. Like, how do you get from here to here? That's really difficult. So I set out to have a little thing in between here. So they can go from here to here
Yeah.
before going to here. And that's
See?
where my women's, community comes from, is let's tell
Brilliant.
our stories so that they can just move just here to here from our stories and then take it from there to start listening to, people who are eons away.
You hit it on the nail on the head, and I'll tell you why. I remember in my darkest times, I remember the day I saw in a Barnes and Noble, I saw Wayne Dyer's book, The Purpose Driven Life. And I picked it up and I read the dust cover and I left depressed because I was like, I wish he would have named that book The Purpose Driven Moment, because at that point I didn't know how to get to the next minute. Yeah. I didn't know if I'd be alive an hour from now, let alone a day from now, a week from now, a month from now. So I couldn't even wrap my mind around reading something about a purpose-driven life when I was trying to stay alive moment to moment. So I get it. Those baby steps, feed here, take a spoonful, a little spoonful. Yep. Perfect. Now, I want to ask you this, Sabrina. Were you shocked? What do you think about now, or has it even come through your crosshairs that when you were Googling and not one woman?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were women, Joyce Meyer, somebody out there doing this thing that you do today. Why did you not find someone who looked like you think?
Yeah. It's so funny because I actually, I was on my computer. The first time that I actually acknowledged it, I'm like, these are all, I did it several times. I did it dozens of times.
Yeah.
But there was a time where I was searching for a woman. In the beginning, I'm just looking for anything. Like, I don't care. I'm just looking for anything to feed my soul. Sure. So but yeah, there was a point where I searched and I went like this, to find. And it was like 67 was the first woman, number 67 on the list. And I actually screenshot my screen. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had nothing. I had no businesses, nothing. But I was like, this is going to mean something one day for me, for my community, for my business, for whatever I build.
Knew.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I was aware of it. I did take note of it. And I do not know where the screenshots are today.
Yeah, but it just came in. I was like, I wonder, knowing what I know already about you, I knew you weren't going to just let that go. Wait a minute, where are the women? Right. Yeah. Because of what you do today.
Yeah.
It's very purposeful. You didn't stumble into who you are. You grew into who you are. So let me ask you about this next piece. So that secret bank account, the secret storage unit, how long did it take for you to amass $50,000 secretly? Because that, a lot of people, that means that for years you wouldn't have had a dime, according to what other people thought, because that's a lot of money for a single girl with a baby. How do you do that without anybody knowing? How?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was living with my ex at the time. We were actually building a business together. So when I met him, he had money. I always say that I ignored all the red flags when he came into my life. And when I say red flags, I mean they were actually stapled to the front of his body. That's how obvious they were. But I ignored all of them because at that point in my life, being a single mom, broke, having to decide if I was going to walk to the grocery store or drive to the grocery store, because if I drove, I had no money for food, like that type of broke. So I had to, I was praying to God. I was like, please help me financially. Please help me financially. I'm dying here. And this man popped into my life and he had money. So I thought he was given to me by God. So I ignored everything that was so obvious now. But anyways, I was we moved in together. We did all the things. I helped him grow his business. He's like, quit your job and come work for me. We're going to build an empire together. And I'm like, yes, let's build an empire together. I didn't realize everything was in his name. So I'm working my ass off. I'm working 14 to 16 hours a day, every single day, building this magnificent empire for him. And as he amassed more money, as he amassed more control, his abuse got worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point where I'm like in the bathroom on the floor having total mental breakdowns like 2 to 3 times a week.
So pretty safe to say a narcissist?
Yes. Not diagnosed, so I don't say that, but yes, very much so. All of the boxes ticked.
All the boxes, absolutely.
All the boxes ticked. So, so when the point in my life came where I knew I needed to leave, I had no money because he controlled all the money. So he was like, look at this life I have provided for you. Why are you complaining? I've given you anything that you want. But the thing is I wanted to leave. So without any money, I couldn't leave. Like, yes, I have a nice car. Yes, we live in nice houses, but like, I can't ever go. I'm a prisoner. So I knew I had to create my own money. So yeah, I opened up 3 online businesses. I lost my money twice. There was a point like a year and a half in where I had collected $6,000. I was so happy. I was so proud of myself. He was coming up the stairs from behind me, like into the kitchen. And I had my computer open and I'm looking at my bank account, my secret bank account. And I was like, $6,000. I felt like a millionaire. I was like, look at how
I'm rich.
Yeah, because he had always told me, like, you're not educated. You don't know how to run a business. You don't know what you're doing. The only reason you have what you have is because of me. You plugged into my business. Yes, you've done a lot, but you plugged into my business.
That's the only reason you have it is because of me.
Yeah. So I made the $6,000. I was like, oh my gosh. And I wanted to brag to him. I wanted to show him, like, look, I can do things and I can make money and I am helping you because look what I've done for myself. From nothing, from zero. I didn't even know what I was doing. And I had to do it secretly. Like,
right.
So anyways, long story, he comes up behind me. My ego, like this whole thing. I didn't close my laptop soon enough. He saw the money.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He
took my laptop. He flung it across the room. It didn't break, but he's like, he goes into a total rage for like 3 hours telling me I'm unloyal, ungrateful, dishonest. How dare I?
You sneaky bitch.
Yeah,
I can imagine. I'm only saying that, you guys, because when a person is reiterating the story, we're getting this much of it.
Yeah.
Think about, you don't know, should I run out the door?
Yeah.
Is he going to throw me next? Is this it? So very scary, right?
Yeah. So at that point, he was paying me $250 a week to like live, to like pay for groceries, toiletries, my insurance, my son's daycare.
You had what is that you get when you're a kid?
An allowance.
Your weekly allowance. So
that's what I called it. I called it my chore money. Yeah, that's what I called it, is my chore money. Because I was broke at the end of every month. I was living off of credit cards basically. And so he thought I was skimming off of the $250. He thought I caught that $6,000 because I was skimming $5 off of $2. So he had no idea. So he stopped paying me. He's like, if you have this much money, just like laying around where you can save $6,000, you don't need to be paid at all. So he stopped paying me for 6
Because
months.
he knew what you were up to.
Yeah, that day, right? Because it was all spectation. What's the word? Like you're like questioning. It was all
Oh, skepticism. Was he
yes,
skeptical?
on whether or
Yeah.
not he was trying to keep me trapped. Because he still did nice things. It wasn't like it was a nightmare. Like we went out to nice dinners. He bought me flowers. Like in between the abuse, they do nice things. That's
Well,
how
even pimps give their whores a burger every now and
exactly,
then.
exactly. That's exactly what it was. He'd feed me. So in my head, I'm like, well, maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe he isn't trying. But that day, when he was like, I'm no longer paying you a paycheck and you have to live off that $6,000. How dare you have any money saved up? That day I knew I am in 100% in an abusive relationship. This man is trying to keep me trapped.
Why do you think now, knowing, looking at who you are, how do you ever say to yourself, why did it take me so long to see this?
Yes. Yes.
Because
I actually,
you're just as bright now as you were then. I
yeah,
can see it. You just didn't fall and hit your head and come out, ooh, look at me. I'm brilliant
yeah,
now.
yeah,
No. So that shows the power of what someone can do when they convince you to point the knife at yourself. See,
yeah,
the promise says no weapon formed against us, but it doesn't say anything about weapons that we create and hand to people like this guy and say, here, use this on me.
yeah.
That kind of thing. Okay, so now how long until you actually got away? And then let's segue into how you use the DNA, if you will, the essence of those experiences and turn it, because a lot of people say hurt people end up hurting people. No, hurt people, a lot of us end up healing people, helping people. So I want you to take us into how you took all of that and said, okay, enough. I'm getting ready to do something with this shit.
Yeah. I
Talk
mean,
about it.
it took a few more years still. I lost my money again a few years later. And then finally I needed to make a decision on whether or not I was going to do this again because I felt like the universe was shitting on me. I was like, I keep trying. Tony Robbins, Les Brown tells me to just keep trying, keep showing up, keep
Yeah.
being optimistic, keep working, stay the course. And I continue to stay the course. And the universe keeps shitting all over my plans, my vision for myself. So there was one day when I'm sitting in the car and I'm literally like, am I going to do this again? Or am I going to give up? Am I just going to fall into the abuse? Because people live in abusive relationships. People every day live in abusive relationships where they're just like, this is my life. He takes care of my financially. I will turn all of my emotions off and I will just be a robot. And people do that.
Yeah.
And so I had a choice. And I said to myself that day in my car, I'm like ugly crying in my car. And I'm like, I am going to work every single day until the day I die, trying to get out of this relationship because me trying to get out gives me hope.
There you go. Seek and you will find.
Yeah.
See? And it's so incredible because a lot of people would have just given up or just laid down and say, okay, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. So the
And
work
believe me, I wanted to.
I'm sure more than once.
It was a lot harder to get out than it would have been to stay in.
Wow. Wow. So here we are, all this, years later, and I want to show people, let's take a look. Look at this, you guys. So here we are. Let me pop it in. There we go. Your website. Okay. And I'm going to go, but here we go. So talk about what we're looking at, Sabrina. What is Human Better 365? Take us through it. Creator of Her Nation, the Sober Society, and then your talk show. Just take us all the way through.
Yeah, Human Better 365 has a vision of coaches and counselors and therapists to help humans in general. So, I do coaching. I've been in the coaching arena for just over 10 years now, and really just helping people empower themselves, helping people envision a future for themselves. It's based on all humans. And that's what we do. We help people rise into and use their story as the catalyst for the person that they are supposed to become. A lot of times
Yeah.
we have that gut, we have that light inside of us. We know, but
I'm
it's
like,
just
hold on.
getting to that section of their life. Her Nation, like I already said, is for female entrepreneurs, and Sober Society. My fiance and I are both sober. I've been sober.
Oh, you have a fiance?
Yeah, I have a fiance.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been sober for 17 years. He's been sober for 15 or 16 years. And so, again, same thing. We help people envision the new identity of who they are outside of their old story, right? Your old story, yes, it helps you. Yes, it can help you, but it doesn't define you. And that's what my story is really about is yes, all the things. Yes, heartache. Yes, darkness. Yes, sin. Yes, suicidal thoughts. And
And
power,
power.
strength,
Amen.
courage, certainty.
Where can people find her talk show, and what will they find when they sit down to devour that great content? What's it all about?
Yeah, it's all females telling their stories. So I believe that there's warriors amongst us. When you're standing in line at Walmart or Target or Starbucks, there is a warrior standing next to you who has gone through hardship.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Giving them a platform to be able to speak.
Sabrina, what does it feel like to you when you see a woman in the distance moving in the shadows of a man, and you can tell by her stature, by the gait of her walk, by the shifting of her eyes, by the dropping of her shoulders and heads, that she's in one of those relationships? I've heard this many times from women who have escaped narcissistic and dangerous relationships, that they can see sisters who are like under a bubble of control, and their hands are tied. They want to run over and slip a number in their pocket, or give them some secret handshake or something to say, I can help, like they teach kids when they're being trafficked, do the wave and we'll follow you and get you. How does that feel when because there's no way you cannot see it? Talk about what it does to you and how it feeds your fire to keep going.
This just happened to me. I was at Starbucks. Yeah, I was at Starbucks. I was meeting with an individual who wants me on one of his stages. We were sitting down having a conversation. We're talking about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And there was a woman who I saw was looking at me. And I thought she was looking at my hair. I get compliments on my hair every day, all day when I'm out in
I'm
public.
sure you do, share from Moonstruck.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that's what she was looking at. But so anyway, she comes up to me, and literally the moment she came up to me, I was like, she is not looking at my hair. And she goes, because she overheard what we were talking about.
Okay.
And she goes, listen, and she like stumbled. She's like, can I just have your phone number?
I'm getting chills.
She didn't even need to say anything else. I was like, 100% you can have my phone number. Yes. And she starts to like, kind of like, but like hesitant. And I'm like, girl, just take my phone number and text me. So she took my phone number. She texted me. We're texting now, back and forth. But yeah, she, again, in a situation where she has kids, she has a husband, she is getting abused. She doesn't know how to get out. She's scared. She doesn't work. So, this is the dilemma. This is the dilemma. So a lot of it for me is sharing my story so that they could see same and I still did it. Same and I still did it. And that it takes work.
It certainly does. Ooh, I had to take a breath after that. I'm just thinking about that woman. And here's why, again, one of those stop traffic moments that we like to just sprint past. See, being present
being fully present in the glory of who you are, because you're in authority, because you live through every second of it, how people can sense that. And the reason I'm pushing that here as we get ready to close out this interview is because, listen, we've lived through so much, all of us, that, don't hide it under a bushel. No, I'm going to let it shine. Remember that song when we were kids? Because you cannot be ashamed of who you are. You cannot be ashamed of what you've lived. Don't be. It is there for a reason. It is there for a reason. And man, what a great story just happened.
Yeah.
And here's again another thing I want to say from that. That just happened the other day. I tell
Yeah.
you guys all the time, our greatest content, our greatest ability to heal others can be found, trust me, in that life that we are currently living and or have most recently lived. So don't think it's just about decades ago. It's not about decades ago. In many cases, it's about things that you've done moments ago. Moments ago. And so I'm just so encouraged by you. So tell us, what's in front of you for 2024? What are some of the things we can look forward to supporting you in? Where did they find your podcast? No, it's a television show, right?
Well, yeah, it's on YouTube.
Live stream. Yeah,
It's on
yeah.
YouTube. I do live stream it. Yep. I live stream on YouTube.
Tell us where we can find all things Sabrina Victory.
Yeah, so her talk show, along with a Google search with my name, Sabrina Victoria, will pull up the talk show. I've had over 600 female guest speakers on my show. It is an absolutely phenomenal platform that you continue to learn and get inspired from. As far as myself, my website is sabrinavictoria.com.
Oh, yeah.
And all of the stuff about Her Nation, all the stuff about Human Better 365, Sober Society, my podcast, everything is on sabrinavictoria.com.
Okay, and there is sabrinavictoria.com. And along the bottom is your Facebook, which is also just filled with tons of golden nuggets and inspiration, and because I've looked through all of it, and I encourage all of you to do it. And listen, right now, I'm just going to say this because I can feel it. I'm getting the download. There's someone watching right now. I'm not talking about replay. You're watching right now, and you know who you are. It's either you or someone very close to you that needs a word. They need that encouragement, which a syllable sometimes can be the very hand that is outstretched to help somebody get back up. Don't let this moment to change, to heal, to help pass. Get this link, get this information about Sabrina Victoria into the hands of that person or into the heart of yourself. Do it. You'll be glad you did. So, do you speak on stages?
I was just on TED. Yeah. I was going to say anybody who is dealing with any form of abuse, if you Google my name, Sabrina Victoria, along with TEDx, my spiel will come up. I got hundreds of comments about how amazing the delivery was and how well I described it, along with giving slight advice on how to start pivoting out of that. So incredibly inspirational. I just did that here in Delray Beach, Florida, a couple months ago, and it just got released on YouTube 9 days ago.
Oh, congratulations. I'm going to go watch and like and build those numbers.
Thank you.
You know, that is, and listen, you guys, just remember, it's never about one thing. If you've lived it, it's so that you can use it to help someone else live. I want you to understand that how does a person like this get to where Sabrina is? How do you get through? Here's my suggestion. Get up and find what you need using only 5 letters of the alphabet. You don't need all 26, trust me. First of all, get an I, an N, and a G. And remember that you are a human being. You're in the process of. You are growing. You are healing. So know that, and then find one E and one R, because it works in both directions. You're already strong. Find a way today before you go to sleep tonight to be stronger. If you're already nice, go to sleep tonight nicer. And also pour into yourself. Look for things like what Sabrina has to renew your spirit, to revive your dreams. Do it. Do it. That's all there is to it. So, Sabrina, here's your Jerry Springer moment. We got about a minute left. If the viewers watching were to somehow forget everything they've heard here today, except for one thing, what would you hope that one thing that they take with them would be?
Everything's going to be okay.
Ooh. Everything's going to be okay. Beautifully stated. Now, I don't know if my show closer is going to work, but if not, we're going to do what we have to do. Listen, I just love your work. I love you already. I want to get to know you better. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for pouring into us here today, Sabrina Victoria, and for doing the work you're doing that promotes healing and the easing of suffering in this world. Trust me, you guys. Listen, if you want to get up and you say, oh, I want to be like her. Oh, I want to be like him. You can. Get up and know that you have the opportunity every day to bring something to this world that this world has never seen before. But in order to do that, you have to wake up every day and remember, to do that, it means I must be a me that I've never been before. Take that with you and have a divine day. Thank you so much, Sabrina Victoria. And thank all of you. I'll see you, God willing, tomorrow morning, right over there on the front porch. We're together. We'll have another illuminated conversation. And in closing, as I tell you every day, I love, love, love you. And there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. I'll see you guys. Get out of here. Find your highest self. Sabrina, great job. Great job. Thank you so much. All right. Bye, everybody.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you.